What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's second video. In today's second video, we're going to take a look at stellar lumens, or XLM, whatever you want to call it. Take a look at the 4-hour, the daily, the weekly, and the XLM Bitcoin pair to see if we can find any clues on what is going to happen next. I'm also going to tell you what I think our next prices are going to be for XLM. All right, so let's not waste any time here and jump straight on into the video. As you guys can see here on the 4-hour time frame, we have now broken out of this cup and handle pattern, right? You guys can see this big cup and the handle coming up here, and now we have firmly broken that neckline right here. Now, what we could be doing in the short term, just keep in mind here, we are getting a pullback, but we could just be retesting our neckline as support, which usually these cup and handle patterns like to do, where we come back down, retest that as support, and continue up, right? Our neckline right now sitting right around 57 cents. We could come around 57 cents, get a bounce here, and then continue up for XLM. Now, if we break this, maybe you should start being a little worried, right? Start being a little worried. If maybe we break this, we could come a little bit lower, maybe to 55 cents, retest our candle high bodies here from April 6th. So always just be wary that if we do break this, we could be seeing further downside action here for XLM, but we have firmly broken that. Now, why are we getting resistance up here at about 64 cents? Why did we go up to that and then pull back, you might be asking? Well, if we look left, if we look all the way back left here, all the way back from right here, back in January 2018, we do have a high here. We do have some resistance back here from January 2018. So that's why we are getting resistance at that current 64 cent level. So it could take us a little bit of a time. Maybe we consolidate in some type of symmetrical triangle before we actually do break that price. All right, now let's jump on into our daily chart. And you guys can see, we tend to do pretty much the same thing for XLM, right? We tend to break this downwards resistance that's been keeping us down. This one's a little bit more awkward, but it ended up turning into a cup and handle pattern. But you can generally see the general trend, right? We have a downwards resistance, we end up making a double bottom, and then we continue up higher. Same thing for this one right here. We make a nice little double bottom here. Then we finally break that resistance after getting above our 20-day moving average, okay? Every single time we get a massive pump after we do that. You guys can see we got back over our 20-day moving average, right? And that is what really started this next rally. We've also broken that resistance, which was a cup and handle. Now we should continue up. Now, let's take a look at what our price targets will be. Well, if we look back at this first cycle down here, first little mini cycle, we take a look at our measured move for this one, up to here. You can see we actually went above our measured move a little bit. Now, let's take a look at this this second one here from our top to our bottom and extrapolate this one up to its breakout point. You can see that one went pretty much right up to its measured move target, slightly above as well. Now, if we look at our current one, right, we take our top to our flagpole bottom and we extrapolate this one up, our price target for this move should be, if we zoom out a little bit, should be approximately about 89 cents for our next move for XLM. Now, we do have other resistances above us, like that 64 cent level, and there's a couple other resistances looking left as well. So we're not going to go straight up to that level. It could just be, you know, more of a methodical type move, maybe more like, I mean, both of these last ones have been pretty parabolic, but could be more of a methodical move as we do have a lot of resistance looking left on the daily chart. You can see a couple highs here. High here at about 64 cents, a high here around 71 cents, and obviously our local high up at around 90 cents. So a couple of resistances looking up, but I do think we eventually hit that target around 90 cents, which relatively hits right at our local highs, right, from 2018. Now, let's go look at our weekly chart here and see what we have going on our Fibonacci. We're not even at our Fibonacci extensions yet, which is pretty crazy for XLM. Let's take a look at our Fibonacci retracement levels, not our extensions. You can see, so what I did here is normally what you would do is you take your top to your bear market bottom. But I think for XLM, if you actually draw it from this first point down here, where you got that first initial dip for XLM before really going to the bear market, you can see this makes a lot more sense, right? Where the lines kind of make up perfectly where you've been in the past and also where you've been in the present, right? So if you take a look here, currently your last rejection point was your point 0.5 Fibonacci. So next you got your 0.618 Fibonacci, which sits conveniently enough right at that 63 cent level where you wicked up to on this last big pump. It also correlates a lot perfectly with your local high candle bodies from January 2018. After that, you do have about 80 cents. You have about an 80 cent price target. And then obviously you have your local high wick up at 94 cents. So those are your next two targets for XLM. If you want to know what's after that, you got your 1.618 Fibonacci sitting around $1.44, give or take a few cents, okay? So those are your next targets on the weekly chart for XLM if we do continue up. You can see your 20 and 30-week moving average holding up as support on your way up. You just got to bounce off your 10-week moving average. Perfect. That's what you want to see, is we want to see these support bands hold up in our bull market. Now, let's take a look at our weekly chart on our Stellar Lumens Bitcoin pair. The prophecy might be coming true, right? We see every single time we have this a horizontal resistance where we kind of make a double bottom. We eventually get a big move to the upside. One of them's here, labeled 1. The second one's here, labeled 2. The third one's here, labeled 3. And you can either see the same thing happening now where we get sort of this double bottom action, horizontal resistance. And when and if we do break this resistance, I do see a big move on the XLM Bitcoin pair. And I think that's going to happen relatively soon, guys. I do think it's happening relatively soon. Obviously, watch this on your charts. If XLM breaks this, we could be seeing another move like we saw back in 2018, 2017, or even back here in 2015. Okay, so I hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, leave a like on the video. Also subscribe if you guys are new. I come out with a video every single day and also live stream from 7 to 9. So make sure you guys are looking out for that. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.